Millennial kids' parents, as a whole, did a terrible job raising us.
Oh, facts.
Talk about it.
Millennials' parents, we pretty much raise ourselves. Most of us raise ourselves, and we raise our siblings along the way because
Watching
most
Zach
of
Morris.
our parents, because most of our parents were so busy getting to it. That we were left to learn most of the stuff by ourselves, like either pursuing further education to get a promotion at work or putting in more time at work or something like that, to where they weren't always readily available to show us things, or they spent time telling us things but not showing us how to do the stuff. For me, and I hear a lot of people say it, so I can just say it confidently, they did not give us the life skills that were necessary for us to survive, and a lot of us are learning it as we parent our own children or learning it along the way. So that's what I mean when I say they did a terrible job raising us. If we're talking about putting clothes on our back, shoes on our feet, if that's the barometer, if that's the barometer we want to use, they did an amazing job at that. But in terms of preparing us for actual life, I don't think that they did a very good job with us in doing that. And
Yo, welcome to the cave with Mel, Troy, and Lex. The podcast with men that have a safe space. We on all platforms. You need to tune in. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Welcome to ManlyD, the podcast with men that have a safe space. Welcome to ManlyD. Welcome to the cave with Mel, Troy, and Lex.
Talking about kids in middle school. We got a middle school kid playing with your daughter.
yeah, I know you be seeing them kids on that soccer field.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it's crazy because so the reason why though is because
Can we talk about this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
I don't give a damn. Ain't like I ain't talked about it out loud. The issue though is there are way more boys who want to play soccer than there are girls. So it's easier for them to fill the teams for the age groups. So then they're able to do 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10, this and that. But the girls' teams, because there's so little or few of them, if they try to do the age groups, they wouldn't have enough for teams to run a season. So they literally have 8 to 10, and that don't sound like a big gap.
But it is.
It don't sound like a big gap to most people, but when you think of the way North Carolina is set up and how schooling is, if you're 8 years old, you're in second grade.
Okay, yeah.
In North Carolina, 8-year-old is in second grade. A 10-year-old is in fifth grade. So when you think of think about how that works. It's so Maya's in second grade, but half of the girls that she's playing with are in fifth grade. So everyone's like, she's so little. Yeah, because she's playing with fifth graders who on their way to sixth grade.
Yeah.
And that's a big age gap. But she be out there playing big though. You can't tell she in second grade the way she be pushing them girls around and stuff like that.
That's what it is.
Now, when I first played rec ball in fourth grade, I was playing against fifth and sixth graders.
Yeah, but you in fourth grade. You weren't in second grade playing against fifth graders.
Oh yeah, that's a big difference. Yeah.
She legit in second grade.
It's the GMO.
And you seen them girls though. How tall they are.
That's what I'm saying, bruh. Like when you put that clip up, I was like, bruh.
Warren Sapp daughter out there doing. Hey. On my life, bro, I never seen 99 on a soccer jersey in my life until Maya was playing up against that girl, and she had that 99 on her back. I said, God damn.
So listen. So I take it, the larger the number, the bigger the person.
The wider the back.
Absolutely.
The wider the back. Ain't that what they talking about now?
Absolutely.
Back.
Wide, big back.
Wide,
big back. Yeah, absolutely. The bigger the number.
Hey. Lace, you ain't you
I ain't
a
gonna tell you,
menace,
bro.
bro.
How? That's what they talking about.
So,
I don't
hey,
make this stuff up.
Y'all should see some of them kids. Y'all don't be out there on the field and stuff yet, but if y'all see some of them kids, bro, sometimes you be wanting to ask them where they work at.
I see it on the basketball court, man. I be like, where did they find you, man?
Hey, where you work at?
I'm 10. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
Lying.
Ain't no way.
Well, that's how all them coaches do in basketball anyway. They just trying to stack their team so they can win and stuff like that. Nobody wants to be competitive.
No, not at all. Not at all.
They just want to dominate.
They do want to be competitive, but they don't want to do the work to become competitive.
Correct.
So they try to shortcut it.
Microwave it. That's what they
Microwave.
They want to microwave.
That's one thing I do like about the team that your son is on, and my nephew was on. Like, yes, those kids are talented, but they dogs.
Oh, we get it in.
Oh,
They dogs.
Oh, we get it in.
They be working, bro. They are straight up.
They ain't got no
dogs.
choice though, and that's why I try to explain to people. So, because they see me sometimes posting Miles working out and doing practice and all that type of stuff. And people like, dang man, do he ever get a break? Do he ever get a chance to be a kid? This and that, whatever.
No.
Whatever. And I'm like, look, he don't. I be like, he does not work out nowhere near as much as he could / should be working out compared to some of these other kids. I'm like, we in the hoop stake, nigga. Like legit. Some of these kids is in the gym 7 days a week.
Right.
Miles don't be in the gym 7 days a week. I give him days off. I give him breaks because he is 10. I don't want to wear his body out and stuff like that. But some of these kids is in the gym
Every day.
7 days a week, bro.
Right,
And you talking about number one already being behind technically in terms of basketball because he didn't really start hooping until he was 8. He was playing football all the time before that. Most of these kids started playing basketball when they was 3, 4, 5 years old. They already 5 years ahead of where he is on top of being in the gym 7 days a week. You talking about he need a break. Technically, I should have him in there more, so he can catch up. But I'm trying to pace him, and they like, well, just take him, just let him take a season off. I'm like, if he take a season off,
He's behind.
he's gonna be 2 seasons behind. I'm like, he
do people
cannot
really
take
hear
off, bro.
themselves talk?
Like, come on.
What sense does that make?
Now, it makes sense if your kid is just playing to just play.
Right, then he can play in the YMCA league.
Right,
and
right.
we ain't got to spend money,
Money,
resources, etc. for
right.
travel.
Travel,
ball.
none of that.
It's different.
But if you playing competitive ball,
Right.
it's different.
Come on,
Yeah.
bro.
You
It's
can't-
a different.
you can't lose
It's a
the
different
season.
logic.
Yeah.
You can't. He'll be too far behind. Especially now that he's going to, and he's on his way to 6th grade.
Yeah.
He ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
He can't take off. Not, and especially now, everyone's body's about to start changing.
Correct.
Height disparity, all that about to
Yeah.
start coming into play. People hitting puberty and stuff like that. He
Yeah.
ain't got no time for that.
Yeah, no, that's real.
Legit. I wish, but this is the sport he picked. I told him that was one of my things. Before he was born, people always ask me, what sport you want to play, what you want to be. I said, I'm never going to pick his sport for him. I'm going to let him pick his sport. He done tried it all. Soccer, baseball, football, basketball. He chose basketball. I'm like, I don't care what sport you play, but you got to play one.
Yeah.
Basketball is the one that he picked. So if that's what you pick, all right, we're going to get it in. We're going to practice, we're going to train, we're going to work, we're going to do whatever, all the stuff that you got going on. So, don't give it to me now. Well, first of all, we back. Welcome,
back.
Welcome back.
We talking about life. Forgot we doing a podcast. Hey, welcome
Welcome
back
back.
to the ManlyDeedsPodcast. It's your boy Melly Mel. What's going on? It's your favorite truth teller, a.k.a. if you don't want to know, don't ask me. We back here for another edition, another episode. We in the building. What's going on?
It's
back.
your boy T. Roy, a.k.a. Kamehameha.
Oh my God.
Jesus the Christ. Oh, my God. Wow.
I'm on my black nerd today. I'm on my blurred, you know what I'm saying? Rocking Goku and Vegeta, you know what I'm saying? Dragon Ball Z type joint, you know what I'm saying? We in here.
I know nothing of what you just said. It's a foreign language to me. But I do have some homies that's in there. So, hey, whatever floats your
I
boat.
do know what you're talking
But
about, Troy. I just want to express
It's your
that.
boy, Dr. Life Coach Lace, a.k.a. NBA old boy, a.k.a. if you're messing with me, you better get a Bible and a seatbelt because we all
Hey.
And shout out early to my boy S-Dub for the fake love gear. We out here rocking it on the potty. If you want to get inquiries about the brand, go to Snapchat, SDub919. He right down the road in Raleigh, making solid gear, and we rocking. Let's go.
Yeah.
Say less.
Say less.
Hey, bro, I ain't going to hold you. Next time you want some promo, send 3. Okay? I want to put that out there. You know what I'm saying?
That's actually not a bad.
That is a great
that's
idea.
that's
That
good.
is a great idea.
If you want
That is a
promo,
great
send
idea.
3. If there's anybody else out there aspiring with their fashion, anything you got going on, tap in. I'm telling you.
I'll rock it.
Hey, I'm telling you, you better
I'll rock
I'm putting you
Shoot
on.
us an email. What's the email address?
Look, you better get us for the low because today's price is not tomorrow's
It's
price.
not gonna be tomorrow's price.
Today's
price
price
is not tomorrow's price. I'm trying to tell you. Get us for the low now. We on the way up. I don't know if you've been paying attention. We on the way up. Get us while we on the way up because when we up, it's gonna be too late. Bro.
Different.
It's gonna be up.
Different altitude.
It's gonna be too
Because
late.
different altitude.
Because the next video we put out and it do a milli.
It's gonna be too late.
Because we already we probably at about like 25K right now on one of our videos.
Yeah, something like that.
As far as views. So if the next one go a mil, it's up and it's stuck. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's gonna be up and stuck. You feel me? You feel me?
I dig it. But yeah, shout out to the homie. Love it. Love it.
Yeah, man, that's good stuff.
So yeah, we back on that, man. Like Finally, a couple weeks past school. School finally out. I'm on break. You know what I'm saying? I'm personally on break. You know, your boy.
That's what bad bees do.
That's what bad bees do. You know what I mean?
The kids on break, but I'm definitely on break.
That's what
you know what I'm
bad
saying?
bees
So
do.
it's feeling good. Happy about summer. My boy on his way to 6th grade.
Uh-huh.
You know, had a little 5th grade graduation, another milestone, stuff like that. So
same,
you know,
same.
that was a big deal, man.
Oh, your kid going to 6th grade?
Going to 6th grade.
Say less.
Going to
You know what
6th
I'm saying?
grade.
6th
man.
grade is a pivotal year. Yeah, that's the year I got punched in the face.
Well, I can tell you what's not going to happen.
Put it out there, Lace.
I
I'll tell you what's not going to happen.
Because my child know 2-piece and a biscuit is easy. We ain't
and a
answering no
biscuit,
questions.
bruh.
Bing, bong, bing.
Come on.
You
So,
feel me?
listen-
I would love for a teacher to call me like, hey, little mama got active today.
Yes.
So, okay,
I've been in that situation.
I know we got a topic and we're going to get to it.
Yeah.
But since we're here, I've always wondered that. How do you teach a kid to defend themselves?
Easy.
Oh, I tell him.
Easy.
I mean, you could tell them, but then do you like show them moves? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I don't know. I've never had
Clearly,
a father.
we work
Clearly, you don't know.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Because you got,
I forgot.
because you
Troy.
got
My bad,
stuff.
bro. My bad, bro.
Clearly, you don't know because you got
Troy,
stole off on.
I'm gonna apologize because I immediately started to judge you, and then you did just remind me that you didn't have a father when you was younger.
They ain't
So
got shit to do with nothing.
A little bit.
They ain't got nothing to do
A
with
little
nothing.
bit.
First of all, if a nigga still off on you, got to fight. Period. That's
But-
that's
yeah,
what
yeah,
that-
yeah,
that's
yeah.
number one.
But if
But
no
I'm talking
one
about, like,
showed
do
you
you
how
teach
to
them
fight,
technique
yeah,
and
I'm saying
stuff
if
like
no
that,
one
you know what
showed you
I'm
how to fight,
Yeah.
you might be less likely. If no one showed you how to fight, you probably won't fight. Or if you never seen, you know what I'm saying. So I honestly, I ain't gonna lie, it's like a mix of both. I've kind of taught Miles how to fight, but he's also seen me get active too. So then he reenacting the stuff that he didn't see.
Wait,
Terrible
hold on,
father.
hold on.
I-
I was about to say,
I'm just
wait.
saying.
We about to take away your blue check, bro.
Like, no,
we
nigga,
finna
this is exactly why I deserve a blue check. This is exactly why I deserve a blue check.
Terrible.
I'm just saying. It's so being honest. We keep it 100.
Right.
He's seen me get active. It hasn't been my best performances and my best, probably not. But he's been able to witness.
How old? When was this?
What you mean?
I never heard this story. Is this the gym
I mean,
story?
there's plenty of stories. Because this is true. I'm not one of those guys that try to walk around acting all tough.
Oh,
and
there's
this
no
and
need
that.
for that.
But
No need
if
for that.
it, like you said, my trigger is quick.
Mm-hmm.
I get mad fast. We talked about it before. If it turn on, it's on, and it's gonna stay on until it goes away. So it's just been in certain instances where I've not been able to control my switch.
Sure,
and then
sure.
I go off. I don't give a damn where I'm at. It just, and then my kids happen to be there, family. I don't care who there. And there's been situations where I done got active and he see me get active. So I think of sometimes it's a mix of me teaching him and then also him seeing me do stuff and then he's reenacting what he's seen me do. Do I advocate for that? No. Do I think that's the best thing? No. But I would much rather him. The one thing I teach my kids all the time, they nobody's punching bag.
Right.
You're not a punching bag. So if someone touches you, however you respond after that,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, it's between you. I'm not advocating from the start the instant,
Right.
but I definitely give him permission to finish it.
Absolutely.
So
We don't
if
start it,
you don't
we
want,
finish.
if you don't want my child touching your child, don't touch my child. He won't touch yours. That's what. Well, let me not say that's always the case because he will get active. I've seen him, but for the most part, if you don't want my child touching your child, don't touch my child.
Yeah.
And he will do that. So yes, I do show him the techniques. I do teach him, and I tell him if someone does do something to you to harm you, you have my permission to go off, whatever. And if the school call me, I'll talk to the school. I'll tell the school the same thing. You may get in trouble at school, but you're not gonna be in trouble with me. So that's how I handle it.
So is it one of those things like, Craig's pops and Craig in the bathroom?
win
You gotta
some, you lose
use
some.
these.
Hey. But you live to fight another day.
Live to fight another day.
Live to fight. No, I mean, a little different raising a daughter. But a lot of these young girls do get active, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, being witty enough to be able to talk and say slick things in response to. But she know if somebody touch you, whatever, and you don't appreciate it,
Go off.
you gotta do what you gotta do. Bite, claw, scratch, whatever.
I'm gonna play your microphone closer.
Yeah. So whatever it takes. But yeah, man. I mean, these kids these days, they have to have some lens of protecting themselves because we not with them every day, all day.
Yeah,
Kids can be mean, particularly going to middle school. That's gonna be totally different world. So you gotta be able to hold your own in some capacity.
That's a whole nother animal.
Yeah.
Just like I told you about the age gap, because of North Carolina, like when you talk about middle school, 6th to 8th grade, Miles about to be 11. He'll turn 11 after school starts. So he's going to be 10 when 6th grade start, and he turn 11. Some of the kids that are there are already 11, turning 12. In 6th grade. So that means the 7th graders are 13 or 12 turning 13 or 13 turning 14, and the 8th graders are probably 14 or 15 years old.
Pulling up in 9th grade driving a car.
You talking about a nigga? You talking about a nigga that's 10 years old gonna be in school with people that's 15 years old and stuff like that? That's a different animal. So it's just a learning, a growing, a different situation. So we got all type of conversations to have this summer about his body, his sex, sex and the body changing.
Strap up, little man,
like that. You know what I'm saying? So we got a whole bunch of conversations to talk about because I don't know what he gonna be exposed to, what he gonna learn, what them kids gonna be talking about.
That is big facts.
And I'd much rather him hear it from me.
Right.
Than to hear it from one of them misguided kids who daddy spend less than 3 hours a day with him or something like that. Or don't have a daddy, not using.
How you gonna tell your kids not to talk to you after 9? Then you spend no quality time with them. Hey, bro, I'm with them every day.
Every day, all day.
So so that was up. Graduation happened. It was cool. My man was excited. I thought he was gonna cry because he be getting emotional and stuff like that. Nigga, real sentimental. But he didn't actually. He held it.
Graduation like
Yeah, they had like a little ceremony, a little 5th grade graduation ceremony where they walked in, had a little, music playing and stuff like that. Call the name and walk up, get their little certificate or whatever. So he actually held it together. I think he was just ready to go.
Right.
So he was, smiling, happy, cheesing, and all that. And believe it or not, I realized how innocent he still is compared to some of the other kids in his grade. So like, for the most part, while a lot of the other boys were like in the mix with the girls and mingling and shaking with the girls and all that type of stuff, Miles off to the side playing foot soccer with some of the younger kids that was out there. I'm like, yo, I'm looking for him. I'm thinking he in the group with everybody else. I look over, he off to the side with some young kids playing soccer and all that. I'm like, this nigga is. I'm like,
he
what
is innocent.
The hell? I'm like,
how do we cultivate
it's like
that
culture,
right,
but I'm like, but it's a beautiful thing that he feels innocent still, and
it's also
innocent,
scary,
but it's scary as hell because I'm like, this nigga's going to 6th grade,
right?
And this is what he. That's 3 months from now. I got 3 months to scare straight this nigga into knowing that to middle school.
Yeah, no, that's real. That's real. Now
I got a lot to do.
My daughter, she broke down and she was like, "It's just never gonna be the same. I'm gonna miss.
Oh my!
I'm gonna miss." I'm like, "Yo, ain't nobody dying. Like y'all got all the means to stay connected. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, kicking it that way. But it is. She was right. That's one thing she said that was accurate. It is never going to be the same because you're growing up. You know what I mean? And I think too, what a lot of kids don't realize is they think that friendship is forever. And sometimes you got to be able to realize, like, people grow, seasons change.
Yeah.
And you may not be friends with the same crew you have now, and that's okay. But, I think that's more so what it was, that, it's never going to be, we're not going to ever be in the same place again. And that's true.
Never going to be the same. Especially, I didn't realize this was a thing, but, like, parents be moving.
Yeah.
And when parents move, the kid got to go, too.
Right. Yeah,
so your friend that you had in 5th grade, you might not have him in 6th grade.
Mm-hmm. And then parents are making different decisions for their kids. So your boy that you was in 5th grade with, you might not go to the same middle school with.
Right.
Might not go to the same high school with. All type of stuff.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
People don't be understanding that, though.
But I'm elated about middle school because I'm about to save some coin. This private school stuff is done. So I'm about to save some coin. I'm excited.
That's what's up. I ain't even mad at you.
No, hey, real talk.
I ain't even mad at you. So with that being said, both of y'all's kids, they had a ceremony, right? Yeah. And here's the thing, but like back in the day, back in the 1900s, when I was in school, I only remember one graduation, and that was when I was 18. High school. That was the only graduation I remember. Nowadays, cats is graduating from preschool. They graduating from 5th grade. They getting graduating from 8th grade. Promotion ceremonies, going into high school. So my coworkers actually brought up this conversation, and because I was invited to one, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But one of my coworkers was like, "These are the dumbest ceremonies that I've ever." But here's the thing: her kid graduated from preschool, and she went, and they had a great time. You know what I'm saying?
Preschool to kindergarten,
right? But
nigga, man, miss me with that.
But listen, even though that's how she felt, she still went. And I, in the same instance as me, I'm like, yeah, that is kind of weird. Are we just giving kids trophies nowadays?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Or do we need to celebrate them because they need to have something in front of them to be like, all right, I like this feeling of celebration today. When is the next one? You know what I'm saying?
Twofold. Are they necessary? The answer is no. Do the kids often enjoy them? Yes. My daughter's was 15 minutes. That is a waste of my time. You could have sent her certificate home, and I would have been fine with that. But I think the other piece from a mental standpoint is that it is grooming kids to expect a celebration for things that they have to achieve. Because if they don't go to school, you go to jail as a parent. It's very simple. So, but it creates this expectation that I should be celebrated for things that I'm supposed to do. We see that even with colleagues that we have at work now. They want celebration and accolades for this is your job. Like, this is what you're supposed to do. So I think there has to be a balance between celebrating promotions, those kind of things, in a sound way. So that's just my take. Do I have an issue with it? Not per se. But I do think you have to be mindful of the magnitude of a lot of these celebrations. Because some of these things are like major. And it's like, yo, we put a lot of energy and resources in shit that Johnny was going to 6th grade anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I just think you have to be mindful of that.
I think I only remember a couple. I know for a fact I had a preschool, kindergarten graduation, something like that, because I remember seeing pictures of it. Do I remember the event? Absolutely not. I know I've seen pictures of it. I don't think that I ever had an actual 5th grade or 8th grade graduation ceremony at the school, but you know how black churches do at the end of the school year with some stuff going like that. They have some type of acknowledgement for you moving from one stage to the next or something like that. Yeah, or something like that. So big celebrations for me was obviously graduating high school, stuff like that. I think that's a major milestone. Did I really care about Miles' 5th grade graduation ceremony? No, not really. Absolutely not. Is it nice to take a moment to acknowledge the growth and development? Absolutely. Like, you look back, time flies, bro. I remember when this nigga was born. Now I'm talking about middle school. You know what I'm saying? So to just stop and think and look and be like, yo, it's about to get real. I got 5 or 6 more years before this nigga probably out my house type of thing, you know? So it's like...
That's crazy.
You know? So it just brings you into perspective. So it was good to just sit there for a minute and just see him. Yeah. But... could we have done without it? Yes. I don't really, and because I'm on the other side of the fence of it. To a certain degree, I understand the need to celebrate the kids and people for doing the right thing, because we don't give enough balance to doing the right thing as we give to doing the wrong thing. If we gave the same amount of energy for doing the right thing, I think a lot of kids would probably lean more towards doing the right thing. But since there's this spirit of, I'm not going to praise you, I'm not going to reward you for doing what you're supposed to be doing, but if you do what you're not supposed to be doing, I'm going to give all hell fury towards you, you know, for doing that. So to some degree, I do try to reward my kids for doing something that they're supposed to do, so that they can at least see, and maybe that's because of me, and I'll explain what I mean by that afterwards, so that they can at least see that if I do the right thing, this is probably some of the things that can come to me for it. No, and maybe I do that for them because I'm someone who grows weary and well doing. If I start to do the right thing and I don't see, not necessarily praise, but if I don't see growth or benefit from it, it'll be hard for me to stay on the right track. So sometimes those little nuggets keep me going that way, so I don't veer off. So maybe because of how I am with growing weary and well doing, I kind of sprinkle stuff on them to keep them, you know, in the mix or whatever. But I think some of the celebrations, a lot of it are more for the parents than they are for the kids, if I'm being honest. I think the ceremonies are more rewarding for the parents, more so like the parents getting them across the finish line, more so than the kids being celebrated for crossing the finish line.
That is a great point.
It is a good point.
Should this start being less about the kids and more about the parents. Because
Absolutely
look,
not.
I got family members who are teachers. I got family members who are administrators. I got friends who are administrators. They be going through some hell, bro. Mm-hmm. They be going through some hell trying to get these kids, and on top of that, you know, I think this may be a case for celebrating it. Some kids don't end up getting to celebrate, and we just recently saw stuff that happened out in Richmond, Virginia. You know what I'm saying? And it's like life is precious.
Yeah.
You know, can we cherish the moment that we got? Right. You know what I'm saying? So I actually might be on that part, leaning towards that, because this is all new to me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. I saw my little nephew in his little purple graduation preschool.
My boy was cheesing too.
He was cheesing, and I looked at the picture and I was mad. I was mad because no one told me. No one told me they was having a celebration for this kid. I would have taken off where I was working from home, so I just would have slid down there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But also at the same time, I'm totally with Lace. I am graduation out, bro. I went to 2 graduations this year. I slid out early for one of them. It's like, bro, first of all, these speakers, what y'all talking about?
Yeah,
Nothing.
What are y'all talking about, bro? Like, I give a quick 15 minutes to the students.
Keep it pushing.
And let's keep it moving. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to walk through all these names, especially if you go through a high school graduation or a college graduation. Man, let's just keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? If you doing your individual class of preschool kids of their little celebration and there's 20 of them, hey, let's give each kid.
And let's get to the cupcakes and juice.
Let's get up out of here.
Chop, chop.
Let's get up out of here. Because I got stuff I got to do. First of all, it took me an hour to get this kid to settle down and get this daggone gown on. I don't know this for sure, but I'm just guessing. Then I wanted to smack my spouse in the face because she didn't get the cupcakes in time. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Something is set up at the crib. So it's just like you causing a lot of drama for my house. Let's get this going. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't even want to be here anyway. I told him he can have whatever he want tonight. He want tacos or he want sushi. Kids want sushi nowadays.
Yeah, my daughter loves
sushi nowadays.
Love sushi.
They don't want pizza. They don't want pizza. They want sushi
and Starbucks.
And Starbucks and crab legs.
not even the crab legs, short. A seafood broil.
Broil, yo, real
a whole
talk.
Broil.
Real talk.
I wish we would have got a broil when we were kids.
Listen.
We got burnt hot dogs and hamburgers. Chicken won't allow for us. Ribs won't for the kids.
You better eat this hot dog and be happy.
Nigga, we got hot dogs and a bag of chips. Plain chips.
Somebody ain't got nothing to eat tonight.
Yo, our parents used to use us as an excuse for them to get together. That's what they used to do back in the day.
We do that now.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, we do that now. Yeah. Kids' birthday parties are for the parents.
Absolutely.
It's for us to get together, let the kids entertain themselves. They play with each other, entertain themselves. We all get a break. They go their way, we go our way. Yeah, we do that now. That's passed down from generation to generation.
I see.
African proverb.
All right. So we at the party, right? You at the party. It's really for the parents. A kid come in crying. She hit me. How do y'all handle them type of situations?
Find out who did it first.
See, you already want to get active.
No, nigga. No, listen. First of all, if there's that many kids around, very good chance the kid got siblings, right? You come in there, such and such hit you in the eye. All right, who hit you in the eye? Was it your own brother or sister? Because if it was, take your ass out. Get out the room. Y'all go handle that. I'm getting tired of hearing this. Okay? That's number one.
It ain't after 9.
You know what I'm saying?
Get out my face.
That's number one. Number two, if it was somebody else's kid, what happened? What were y'all doing that this did y'all run into each other? Was y'all fighting and got punched in the eye? You got to collect data. You can't just jump out the window. All these kids, 10, 12 kids running around. You got to get the data. That's number two. If it is something wild, now everyone's upset because now you're ruining our evening. Okay, you're ruining my evening. You're supposed to be playing. We having a good time. Y'all up there fighting. Y'all need to be sitting down,
right,
or playing. So I'm just saying it depends on what happened, how you handle it. But it's largely, for the most part, it's just not even worth it because kids cry about anything. They playing too rough. He pushed me. We bumped
heads. He won't let me play with the
ball.
And
most of the injuries come when they doing something they ain't got no business anyway.
Yeah. Go have a seat.
So let's talk about that. They doing something they ain't got no business anyway. And then they get injured. So if you're already doing something that you ain't got no business, get your ass out my face.
And go have a seat.
Go sit down, go play, go get you some juice or something like that. I'll talk to you later. You fine? Go on.
Gone. Yeah, because a lot of times it's just the emotions that are hurt of the child.
I'm telling you, for real. You'll be surprised how much. Okay, you ever seen a kid fall or scrape their knee or hit their head or something like that, and they sit up and they're thinking about if they want to cry or not? Have you ever witnessed it?
Oh yeah.
So they're trying to process it. Do I want to cry? Do I want to scream? And you can see it on their face. They're thinking about it. And depending on how everybody else around them acts about the situation, a lot of time the kid will cry or not.
Sure.
If they fall, hit their head, and everyone go, oh, the baby, they gonna scream. You get one of them. If they fall down and do something, and you look at them, you be like, hey, you all right? You good? You whatever? Most of the time they'll, suck it up, and then you ask them what's going on. They'll explain it to you or something, and sometimes they'll calm down. So it just depends on how everybody else. A lot of times parents blow it up.
Yeah,
we blow it up, and if we just calmed ourselves and took the data in and made a decision, the kids will, fall in line.
Yeah,
that's real.
I had a little cousin one time. He would fall, and I would, if I'm watching him, I would go, and the parents would be like, "Don't even look at him. Don't even look at him. Don't even look at him." I'm like, he just fell though. Like his whole face is cracked on the whole side right there. Just don't look at him. He'll be all right. He put his face back together.
He go on. He all right. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Honestly, I think that's one of the biggest things I think that I teach my kids. And me and Sharita used to have differing opinions about it. She does it still sometimes, but me largely, I believe in give a man a fish he eats for a day. Teach a man the fish he eats for a lifetime. I teach them how to do things. I don't just do it for them.
Right.
I show them how to do it. Just like Miles, like he does little stuff on the stove, like cooking noodles and things like that. Like I taught him that when he was like 8 or something like that.
Yeah, you gotta know that.
And Sharita was like, I don't want him touching stove, this and that, whatever. I'm like, well, the alternative is every time he wants something to eat,
you gotta do it.
He gonna come in here and ask you to do it, and you gonna be laying down, you're gonna be comfortable, you ain't gonna want to get up, you ain't gonna want to whatever. But if you can show him responsibly how to use the stove, if he's hungry, he can do it himself,
right.
Or he learns how to fend or take care of himself to a certain degree. So in the beginning, we was like going back and forth about it, but now Sharita like, go make your sister some noodles. Maya be like, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I want some noodles. And Sharita be like, ask your brother to make you some noodles or something like that. So it's like, okay, originally, you was against it, but now that you see that he can handle it or that he's grown to some degree and he's functioning on his own or whatever, then it's like a lot of times parents want their children to be so dependent on them, that they find offense in children being independent. Right. I'm like, the testament of your parenthood is how independent your child can be to a certain extent. How can they do without you?
Yes.
So if everything in their life depends on you, you're not doing a very good job of parenting.
And that creates a dysfunctional codependency down the line.
Yes.
Because I mean, I've seen it where kids in high school, kids that are even college age, really don't do much for themselves. Like parent literally does everything. And you setting them up for some form of failure down the line, because what they gonna do when they in the real world? Like, you gonna call your mama to do this, you gonna call your papa to do that, right? You know what I'm saying? Dysfunctional relationships, and I think that's something that is developed that we can oftentimes contribute to, and we think we're doing good, but we're really doing something that is disheartening them down the line. You know what I mean? So yeah, dysfunctional relationships, codependencies.
Even think about this with the stove piece. If you didn't teach him how to use it, who's to say that he still wouldn't touch the stove anyway?
Right.
So you give him, you teach him, it's like, hey, this is hot. Don't put your hand on it. This is how you accurately use it.
This the temperature you need to use it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So stuff like that. So giving them the skills. I try to do that with him. He got one more year, and then he's going to be washing clothes. He's going to be doing laundry. This is last year of me doing his laundry.
You know what? Let me say this. That is a good point, because I was that kid. I didn't realize it until I got to college, and a whole week went by, and I needed some drawers. And in order for me to get drawers, I had to wash my drawers. So I'm up here on the phone. Hey, so how I use a washing machine. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, it was up and it stuck. But still, at the same time, why did it have to get to that point? You know what I'm saying? Somebody should have been teaching me some some skills back in the
Basic
day.
life
Yeah.
skills.
Basic life skills. Yeah.
Yeah, he got one more year. And then I'm teaching him how to iron his own clothes, how to wash his own, do his own laundry and stuff like that. So he got light chores now. Yeah. But,
Yeah, she honor gear in the morning.
See, I'm a year
wash
behind.
her own clothes, all of that.
And I'll also say this too, like, it's really important to get these kids up and ready, because I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like, my parents just was cool with, is Troy out of trouble, and is he doing good in school? Nothing else. But it has to be more than that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, because if I'm out of trouble and I'm not in school, that ain't necessary. And if I'm out of trouble and I'm doing well in school, that's really not a true testament of your parenting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That just means that I can assimilate well in society. You know what I'm saying? And that I might have been already wired to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the skills and stuff that I can learn come from from parenting. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, so yeah.
I just want to say that all of us are millennials. Millennial kids' parents, as a whole, did a terrible job raising us.
Oh, facts.
So talk about it.
Millennials' parents, we pretty much raise ourselves. Most of us raise ourselves, and we raise our siblings along the way, because most of our parents, because most of our parents were so busy getting to it that we were left to learn most of the stuff by ourselves. Like either pursuing further education to get a promotion at work, or putting in more time at work or something like that, to where they weren't always readily available to show us things, or they spent time telling us things but not showing us how to do the stuff.
Yeah.
Go to school. Don't bring no babies home. Why do I need to go to school though? Like, teach me about why I need to be going to school. Teach me about how to handle my money before I realize I got bad credit and it's too late. Show me how to responsibly handle a credit card or something like that. Or tell me about, how as soon as I turn 18, I'm going to get 6 credit cards in the mail.
Yeah.
And I think I got all this access to something that I don't even know how to use. Like, they did not, for me, and I hear a lot of people say it, so I can just say it confidently, they did not give us the life skills that were necessary for us to survive. And a lot of us are learning it as we parent our own children, or learning it along the way. So that's what I mean when I say they did a terrible job raising us. If we're talking about putting clothes on our back, shoes on our feet, if that's the barometer, if that's the barometer we want to use, they did an amazing job at that. But in terms of preparing us for actual life, I don't think that they did a very good job with us in doing that. And I think the reason why most of us as millennials are so exhausted is because of all the stuff that we doing, trying to teach ourselves and trying to parent and pass it on to the next group as well. Like we felt like we were largely behind already, and now we overcompensating to catch up, or navigating the space, stuff like that. So it's not talked about enough.
And even aspects of how to provide, etc. Because I know from my upbringing, you either going to the military or you going to college.
Facts.
And it could have been like, well, you could have got a trade. You could have done a lot of different things that give you a sustainable income, no debt, but none of those, from my knowledge that I recall, none of that was ever really talked about. It was like, this is what you got to do if you want to be successful. That's not necessarily true, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of that also boils down to their experience and what they may not have had access to, those kind of things as well. So no, it's a full blown. It's a lot of life skills that were left on the table that we were left to figure out. Because I remember college. I mean, literally, you go out, fill a credit card application. You got $20,000 at your fingertips like that.
Thank you. I can just pay it later. I'll just pay it later.
But like those kind of things, like legit. You know what I'm saying? So
and the philosophy behind it.
Correct.
Like,
right.
The statement, don't bring no kids home. Why?
Right, yeah.
Like, we always going to these baby showers. It seemed like we having fun when we go there. You know what I'm saying? You dragging me to these joints.
You brought me home.
Right, exactly. So what's the philosophy behind it? And to be quite honest with you, a lot of the philosophy behind it is a story. It's a story that someone lived, but it's not shared. You know what I'm saying? It's like you've seen it. Well, you know how your cousin Teresa and them was. No, I don't. I'm not sure y'all parents do this, but do y'all parents ever be like, you know such and such, don't you? No, I don't. Yeah, you do. Cause back in 83, I wasn't born in 83.
Right. Right.
I'm not sure if your parents do that. So they think that you already know the very things that they've experienced and stuff like that, but they don't. We don't. I'm gonna say we, because I don't. And because you never told me those stories, I don't necessarily I don't know the reasoning of why you're saying the very things that you're saying.
Because we grew up in the I told you so era.
The why.
Yeah, because I told
because
you
I
so.
said so. Because I said so. And that does not work no more. And I know that we as parents, a lot of times as parents, feel like we own our children.
Yeah.
In a sense of you do what I say because I said so. Because I said so. Don't give me no back talk. Don't give me no lip. And I give my children the freedom a little bit to ask. Because if it's gonna help you further do what I want you to do by me giving some sort of explanation,
Sure,
that's fine. I can do that. And it also allows them to think and process and develop their own thoughts and opinions. Because if I do it to them now, where I dismiss every thought that they have, they'll be less likely to share their thoughts as they grow older because they're worried about being dismissed or shut down or anything like that. So I give them a little bit of freedom to ask questions. We do not live in the "I told you so" or "because I said so" era anymore. There's way too much access to information for them. So if you ain't gonna tell them, somebody else is gonna tell them.
Or they'll find it out themselves.
They're gonna find out for themselves. So depending on the situation, it is because I said so. And then the other times it's like, well, because of this. Or this is why I'm saying X, Y, and Z. And then it's more like, and then you'll see how quickly they'll just go do what you want them to do because you've explained
have an understanding
the importance of it. And then they more likely to do it. I don't need to do all that.
And all that getting.
Get wisdom.
Understand.
Get wisdom. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. Kevin Hart got a joke. His daughter's asking him a million questions. She's like, "What's that, Daddy?" He's like, "Oh, that's a car." He's like, "Oh, what's that, Daddy?" That's something else. "Oh, what are you doing now, Daddy?" "I'm programming this number in my phone." "What does program mean?" Shut up. But you got to be prepared. You gotta be prepared to and I think it all boils down to patience. Our parents didn't have patience. They were trying to get on to the next one. I'm not sure about y'all's parents, but my mom, she had 2 jobs. You know what I'm saying? And so she was getting off a job to pick me up, to drop me off somewhere to go to another job. You know what I'm saying? So she didn't have time to explain to me. It was just like, for lack of a better word, she was basically saying, trust me. But she didn't say trust me. She just said, nigga, shut up. Just do what I told you to do. And I guess in this era, we're realizing that, it's a need for patience with our children. It's like sometimes we have to pause life, evaluate what's more important at the moment, and go with, all right, I might have to drop this educational jewel upon you right now.
For sure.
Sure, you took us a different direction than I was expecting you to take us today.
What are you talking about? We
said
was going to talk about graduation.
We was going to be talking about graduations, but now we talking about the philosophy of parenting and our upbringing, our rearing, and our experiences and things like that. I think, and we talked about this before, it's crazy how, and I'll say in the Black community, for example, especially in our age range, parents are not always expected to give us everything that we should have. But as they get older, we're expected to provide resources, care, and provision for them as they grow in age. You know what I mean? So instead of being in the generation where they're leaving us things, we're in the situation where we got to provide stuff for them as they age. So there's no passing. If I'm expected to be leaving something for the next generation of my kids, how am I going to do that if I'm also trying to take care of a parent who was supposed to leave me something? You know what I'm saying? Like, you were supposed to be passing it down to me so I could pass it down to them.
But you passing it
up. Now I'm split. I'm in two directions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm gonna use my grandma real quick. I love my grandma. I know she ain't gonna listen to the potty, but for example, my grandma up in age 70 something, was working, wanted to retire. So my dad is talking to her like, okay, you want to retire. What do you have set up to retire? And my grandma is real spiritual. Her and Jesus are first cousins. I don't know if y'all know that or not. But she is like, well, God gonna supply all my needs.
Okay.
She like, God gonna supply all my needs. So I'm gonna retire. I'm just gonna retire. And my dad, using his logical brain, is like, how are you going to retire?
Yeah.
He's like, how are you going to retire?
Right.
Basically, he's asking his mama, how are you going to live if you retire and you ain't got no money? And she just like, God gonna supply all my needs. He's getting frustrated. This nigga's tight, okay? He's tight. And you know I know he's tight because he's venting to me about it.
right.
So I know that he's upset, right? So I let him get it all out, and he's like talking about God gonna supply all my needs and this. I'm like, well, technically, she's not lying. Right. I'm like, technically, she's not lying. He is gonna do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he's like, yeah, but what? She ain't got no savings. She ain't done it, this and that, whatever. And I'm like, well, put it in perspective. And this is why I say I'm trying to be like my dad when I grow up. My dad bought my grandma a house. Mm-hmm. He pays the mortgage on the house that she lives in or whatever. So I'm like, listen. I'm like, listen. God gonna supply all her needs
Exactly.
Through your ass.
you. I'm like, through you. He gonna supply all the needs because she already got, she had a car. Car's almost paid off. She had like 3 payments left or something like that.
Sure.
Car almost paid off. Ain't like she need a new car. Where's she
Right.
going? She ain't going nowhere.
She ain't going nowhere, yeah.
You pay the mortgage on the house that she lives in.
Yeah.
I said, what else do she have after that? Maybe cable and internet?
Yeah.
Her cell phone bill?
Yeah.
Her little SSI check, whatever she might get or whatever they get.
play
It's
money.
probably going to take care. I'm like, so yes, God is going to supply all her needs.
Through you.
Through you.
Yes.
I said,
Sometimes it's the avenue.
I'm like,
Sometimes
yo,
it's the avenue.
you created this, situation, created this monster, whatever. So yes, she is gonna do that. But then I look at him and I'm like, my dad got 4 kids. He got 5 grandkids, 4 or 5 grandkids, a wife. You trying to supply for yourself, your wife, your 4 kids, your 5 grandkids, and your mama. And your mama. I'm like, I'm 36 years old. I can't imagine. I got 2 kids. I stopped at 2. I looked at him and said, no, thank you. I don't want nothing you got going on. I stopped at 2. And I'm like thinking about being in my 50s, years old. I'm like, I be asking him sometimes. I'm like, how are you living? How are you surviving? Doing all the stuff that you're doing. The expectation of, I got to make sure my mama's straight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I got the demands of my wife. Obviously, I got to take care of that. And then you got 4 kids. I'm obviously the oldest and most stable out of all of them. And
They be listening to this podcast.
yeah, I know they know. Them niggas know. But it's just like, bruh, I cannot, and because I'm thinking about my mama now. Like, my mama's getting up in age and stuff like that. And I'm like, bruh, if this is what sons are supposed to do for their mama and stuff like that, I got to get some more money.
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta get to it. So then it's like no one ever really talks about that as it relates to us. How I'm going to be at some point managing up.
Right.
Because I gotta take care of that too. I gotta supply that. When is like is there a cutoff? Is there a cutoff, or as a son, am I supposed to just be like, it is what it is. That's my mama. That's my family. This the burden that I carry, and then you jump on it. Because some people I know will be like, hey, I don't owe my parents nothing.
I think
I don't owe my parents
I don't
nothing.
subscribe to that. But I think you can only do what you can. And I think we had a conversation offline with some in our group chat about this, but you can't be burdened with the burden of others, but you can help them navigate that. But you have to be able to draw a line in the sand. This is what I can do to assist, and that might not be everything, but this is what I can contribute to help you along the way. So, because you aren't involved in all the decisions and choices that they make to put themselves in said situation.
Right.
Not to say, no, I can't do anything. It's not my responsibility. No, it is a certain level of responsibility, but this is what I can contribute to help you through this situation. So that's how I view it.
Tim Legler, former NBA player, he was telling a story. I think it was Tim Legler. He was telling a story about how he was talking to one of his teammates, and he was like, they was talking about money and stuff like that, and his teammate was like, yeah, man, I gotta get this money back to home. He's like, why you gotta get your money back home? He's like, because people are dependent upon me. I've got to take care of these people. And Tim Legler was like, I don't take care of nobody but myself. And I think, I say that to say this, in the black community, that's just, for some reason, that's just how it is, bro. For a long time, we have been put in the position where that when Big Mama get old, somebody gotta do something for her, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I've actually had that that conversation with myself is like, so what's that going to look like? Because I might have to take care of two women, my grandma and my mama. You know what I'm saying? Like, not my grandma, I think she going to be straight as far as financially. You know what I'm saying? I just got to make sure her health is taken care of. You know what I'm saying? And at one point, you know, I can't do anything else for her health. You know what I'm saying? Because old age sets in and stuff like that. But for my mom, it's just like, it's going to be a tough one, man, because stubborn as a mule. Mama, I hope you listening to this. I want you to let you know right now, you are stubborn. And I'm your son, and I'm just as stubborn as you. So I get it from you. My wife tells me I get it from you. That's what she said. So so be mad at her.
Troy threw his wife under the bus.
Big under the bus. 18-wheeler. But so it's going to be tough because not only is going to be that financial piece for me, it's also going to be the health part too on top of that, but then also dealing with my mama's stubbornness. Because I can hear her right now. I'm like, Mom, I need to put you in a place where people could be able to take care of you. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to stay at the house. That ain't the move, Ma. You can't stay at the house. You done fell down the steps 6 times. Okay, you ain't got no more hips.
You got one more good fall. You got one more good fall.
Because real talk, because I got an aunt right now who's 91, who does not. I know she don't listen to this podcast, so I can talk about her. She's 91 years old and refuses to live with anybody else. One day they called her at the house. She didn't pick up the phone. This nigga been stuck on the toilet for 3 days.
And she lived?
Yeah. But she ain't had the strength.
What, nigga?
Another time. Listen, I'm telling y'all the truth. I'm telling y'all hard facts. And she's still cooking for herself at 91 years old. She could be 92 this year, bro.
So she was on the for 3 whole days. Ain't nobody.
It wasn't really. I'm exaggerating. But she was on there for a minute, bro.
Oh, okay.
She was on it for a minute. Okay, another time. She stuck in the tub. She couldn't get out the tub. Because you know them old, they don't know nothing about taking no showers.
Right.
So she laid up in the tub for hours, bro. Hey, man, don't laugh at my aunt like that.
Nigga, I'm laughing because I tried so hard, bro. If you realize how hard I was working to be,
what?
also, and really listen to what you were saying, bro.
I got another time. 91 now.
Jesus.
91. So, old fashioned. She's one of the types that when you got food scraps, you don't throw them away. You throw them outside. Please, y'all.
You trying to
Lakes,
get us
you
to
know,
be on
you
this
know,
road
you know
with
what I'm talking about. Like in the country, you don't throw food scraps away. You don't throw them away. You throw them outside to like for animals or something, or for to build up the ground or something like that. It's just what something that old folks do.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's like if you got an apple core, you don't put that in the trash can. You just throw it outside. Somebody come by, eat whatever. You're not from the country, so
I'm not. I know. That's what I'm saying. You educate me. You trying to get me to jump on this train with you.
So she is going outside to throw away scraps, right? She's throwing away scraps. Well, her house is on a hill, so she walking outside. Next thing you know, she slip on a leaf. She slips on a leaf, and she does not wear her life alert thing. She doesn't wear, so she's stuck outside, bro. Listen to me. She's stuck outside. She can't get up. The only thing that saved her from or brought it, the next door neighbor's dog was just barking for no reason. And the next door neighbor, as nice as it, why is my dog barking? Go outside. My great aunt stuck outside. I fallen and I can't get up. That she was basically that commercial right there. And that's the only way she got saved. The stubbornness. So, listen. I'm trying to make a point, Mel. I'm trying to make a point. You laughing at my problem. I'm trying to make a point. The point is this. not only do you have to deal with the financial burden, the health burden, but the stubborn burden.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be really, really tough to try to get these people who were born in I'm not sure when y'all's parents were born.
60s.
60s. I think my mom was born in the 60s. My grandmother was born in the 40s. It's going to be tough to try to get these stubborn people to go against their normal routine for the sake of their well-being, because they think, I'm going to be able to take care of myself. You could, but in my mind, you're not taken care of. And I'm thinking about that joint all the time. Because if I don't do right by you, what does that say? What does that say about me as a son?
Right, but you're going to do right if they contribute to the vision of doing right.
That is true.
Because if you walking outside, slip on a leaf, and check up out of here, that's nothing that you did. Like you outside for 3 days and the animals that you was going to feed just start nibbling on your old ass. I mean, what do you want me to do? That has nothing to do with you, bro.
The crazy thing, though, well, I ain't gonna say crazy. I think the harder thing for you is that because you technically an only child, there's not another sibling to help you carry the load or carry the weight. But even in instances where there's more than one sibling, there's usually always one sibling, who steps up and does it, and then all the other siblings go off and live their best lives and do their own thing, and they never check in,
and then
never
you
ask.
Mad because they doing them.
Then you mad that they living their life and you chose, and then you expect them to make the sacrifice and do the thing, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So it's always that dynamic.
Yeah.
But again, it's the situation of our parents not doing what they supposed to do.
Right.
To put themselves in a situation to be taken care of, and now we feel like it's our burden or responsibility to do what they didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I mean. Like, some people are of the mindset, I don't owe my parents nothing because they did what they were supposed to do and taking care of me. I didn't ask to be here. That's people's thought. Mm-hmm. Because I didn't ask for it, I don't have to be appreciative for it.
Yeah.
That's
which is ridiculous.
Yeah. But that's most people's take. I didn't ask you to do that, so I don't have to say thank you type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So some people are of the thought, I don't owe my parents nothing. So if they get old and decrepit and they can't, take care of themselves, that's on them.
Yeah.
And then other people feel like they owe their parents everything.
Right.
Because they got them to where they are. So is there, well, you kind of answered it already. That would be...
It's balance. So you got to find a
balance or whatever.
Because again, say for instance, your parent gets older, or they have a health condition, dementia, something like that, whatever the case may be. Some people have to make the hard decision. I need to put them in a home so they can be taken care of because I don't have the resource, time, or whatever to be present 24/7 to take care of them.
Right.
Granted, that may not be the outcome that they want, but that is what is best for them. So essentially, it's about doing what is best for the individual, regardless of if they want to try to take care of themselves. Obviously, that's not working out if you continue to fall and injure yourself, those kinds of things. So making those hard decisions to put them in a position where they can have longevity in what they are navigating and dealing with. Because, just saying no to it or I don't owe them anything, I don't subscribe to that. I don't subscribe to that at all.
Now we got to put cameras in our house at all angles.
Right.
I mean, that's another way.
And another thing to realize, as you mentioned, Mel, one sibling stepping up, etc. I mean, you got to think too, like with my family, my dad got multiple siblings, my mom has multiple siblings, but literally only one of them out of all the siblings generally do all the work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But everybody got something to say or something to add or this is what I think you should do, etc., etc. Y'all not in it every day. So being able to tune out that noise and see what is accurate and best for the individual is always key.
And this is, I don't even know if we want to go here or not, but we here. So I'll just go ahead and I'll say it. So I don't have kids. Nigga, who gonna take care of me?
Right.
And that joint, I don't want to put the burden on someone else who's not responsible for me. You know what I'm saying? Or I wasn't responsible for.
And I feel that.
And so now I have to make sure I'm really gonna be dependent upon the Lord gonna provide.
And he will.
But I think you have to you have community.
I do. But
within-
y'all niggas gonna be just as
got
old
you,
as
bro.
me. I appreciate that.
Hey,
But
Ray
y'all
and
niggas
Claude
gonna-
in that
Hey, bro, I was about to say the exact same thing, ladies.
You gonna be like Ray and Claude.
Ray and Clark Gibson out this mother.
mother.
At the Yankees game, old and sitting at the.
Just gonna bust up in them.
So now I got to think about that, and I appreciate that because it's good to know. It's good to know because in the back of my mind, I'm still trying to play that through. Is like, all right, so what's this gonna look like? I got to build up my 401k. I got to make sure that I have investment so that when time comes, I can cash out if I need that cash because I'm gonna have to end up paying for somebody in order to take care of me.
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? God bless my sisters and stuff like that. You know, they I'm not sure if y'all ever heard this saying before. I think Bootsy actually said it. He said, "Hey man, you gotta have daughters," or maybe Charlamagne the God is like, "You gotta have daughters because your daughters will take care of you when you get old." You know what I'm saying? She gonna be arguing with her husband.
My daddy come to live with us.
Lil Rel said that.
that was Lil Rel.
But yeah, I have sisters, but we're distant. You know what I'm saying? And as far as relationship, I'm trying to build that relationship, and I'm pretty sure they would, probably step in or something like that. But I'm not trying to put that burden on them. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like man, that. And so in talking about that joint, like I'm like, man, I'm having to think all the time. All right, let me get my 401k up, let me get my SSI up, all that type of stuff. And it's a rough one to dig on. It's a rough one to dig on.
I know that it seems like an unfortunate situation, but the situation is almost forcing you to do what everyone else's parents should
be doing. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So you already doing what you should be doing because of the situation. A lot of people, I feel like, are not doing what they should be doing because they like, I got kids, I got grandkids, I got, you know what I'm saying, etc.
Yeah.
And I think that's a difference. But to Lace's point, you got community, you know what I'm saying? So you ain't necessarily got to be down in the dumps about not having kids to be there to take care of you, because some people got plenty of kids and none of them show up to do. I mean, excuse me, that I was not doing good.
We just talking.
I know I was doing good too. I was doing good, but I just thought about it. None of them show up to do nothing, and I think it would be much easier to deal with of the thought of saying I don't have this thing because I don't have kids versus having kids that you raise and then they not be there to support you or take care of you. I think that would be a way worse experience.
That's real.
This was deep.
Yeah. That was deep.
Yeah, it's real.
I thought it was gonna be funny because I knew for sure y'all was gonna be like anti-kid graduations. I knew y'all was gonna be anti, but y'all actually, you surprised me. I knew you was gonna say what you was gonna say, but you surprised me.
What did I say? I said I support it.
You said F that. They don't need that.
They don't need it, but I support it.
Oh, okay, I got you. And I knew for sure you was gonna be 100%. It's the dumbest thing I've ever done.
Well,
I mean, it wasn't the dumbest thing I ever done. It's up there.
Yo, it is definitely.
Just because of some of the stuff. Well, if I had Lace experience where it was 15 minutes, I could have done that. That joint was like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
they got an actual commencement speaker. They doing
nah,
presentations. People singing songs, all type of stuff. I'm like, bruh, give my nigga this damn certificate so we can.
And let's roll so I can
let's
throw it in the back.
I got I got a reservation at the.
Keep this thing rolling.
I got a reservation at the Japanese steakhouse. Nigga, I ain't trying to be sitting here all day.
Oh my goodness,
man, that was fun.
Hey, well, as usual, man, this was very introspective, very deep conversation, less humor as I was expecting. But you know what I'm saying? As always, we appreciate you rocking with us. This has been the Manly Deeds Podcast. And until next time, we out.